Module 2, Technologies and Tools, Set-1. Firewall. In computing, a firewall is a network security system that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. A firewall typically establishes a barrier between a trusted network and an untrusted network, such as the Internet. ACL, Access Control Lists. In computer security, an access control list, ACL, is a list of permissions associated with a system resource, object. An ACL specifies which users or system processes are granted access to objects, as well as what operations are allowed on given objects. Application-based. Application software, app for short, is a program or group of programs designed for end users. Applications may be bundled with the computer and its system software or published separately and may be coded as proprietary, open source, or projects. Apps built for mobile platforms are called mobile apps. Network-based. Network computing is a generic term in computing which refers to computers or nodes working together over a network. Stateful versus stateless. In computing, a stateless protocol is a communications protocol in which no session information is retained by the receiver, usually a server. In contrast, a protocol that requires keeping of the internal state on the server is known as a stateful protocol. Stateless. In computing, a stateless protocol is a communications protocol in which no session information is retained by the receiver, usually a server. A stateless protocol does not require the server to retain session information or status about each communicating partner for the duration of multiple requests. Implicit deny. Implicit deny. It requires that all access is denied by default and access permissions are granted to specific resources only when required. Implicit deny is implied at the end of each ACL, and it means that if the provision in question has not been explicitly granted, then it is denied. You just studied two terms. VPN concentrator. A VPN concentrator is a type of networking device that provides secure creation of VPN connections and delivery of messages between VPN nodes. It is a type of router device, built specifically for creating and managing VPN communication infrastructures. Advertisement. Remote access versus site-to-site. In a corporate setting, remote access VPNs allow employees to access the company's intranet from outside the office. Site-to-site VPNs allow collaborators in geographically disparate offices to share the same virtual network. Remote access. Remote access can also be explained as remote control of a computer by using another device connected via the Internet or another network. The client, or VNC viewer, is installed on a local computer and then connects via a network to a server component, which is installed on the remote computer. IPSec. In computing, Internet Protocol Security, IPSec, is a secure network protocol suite that authenticates and encrypts the packets of data to provide secure encrypted communication between two computers over an Internet Protocol network. It is used in virtual private networks, VPNs. Tunnel mode. Tunnel mode is used to create virtual private networks for network-to-network communications, e.g. between routers to link sites, host-to-network communications, e.g. remote user access, and host-to-host communications, e.g. private chat. Tunnel mode supports NAT traversal. Authentication Header, A. Authentication Header, A, is a member of the IPSec protocol suite. A ensures connectionless integrity by using a hash function and a secret shared key in the A algorithm. A also guarantees the data origin by authenticating IP packets. ESP, Encapsulating Security Payload. Encapsulating Security Payload, ESP, is a member of the Internet Protocol Security, IPSec, set of protocols that encrypt and authenticate the packets of data between computers using a virtual private network, VPN. The focus and layer on which ESP operates makes it possible for VPNs to function securely. Split tunnel. Split tunneling is a computer networking concept which allows a user to access dissimilar security domains like a public network, example the Internet, and a local LAN or WAN at the same time, using the same or different network connections. Split tunneling is sometimes categorized based on how it is configured. TLS. Transport Layer Security, TLS, and its now deprecated predecessor, Secure Sockets Layer, SSL, are cryptographic protocols designed to provide communication security over a computer network. The TLS protocol aims primarily to provide privacy and data integrity between two or more communicating computer applications. NIPS, Network Intrusion Prevention System, /NIDS, Network Intrusion Detection System. Network-based intrusion prevention system, NIPS monitors the entire network for suspicious traffic by analyzing protocol activity. Host-based intrusion prevention system, HIPS, an installed software package which monitors a single host for suspicious activity by analyzing events occurring within that host. Heuristic/behavioral. Heuristics can be mental shortcuts that ease the cognitive load of making a decision. Examples that employ heuristics include using trial and error, a rule of thumb, or an educated guess. Anomaly. We define an anomaly as a localized increase in temporal activity in a cluster of nodes. The algorithm is unsupervised. It is able to detect and track anomalous activity in a dynamic network despite the noise from multiple interfering sources. Inline. An inline definition does not provide an external definition for the function, and does not forbid an external definition in another translation unit. An inline definition provides an alternative to an external definition, which a translator may use to implement any call to the function in the same translation unit. Passive. A passive attack attempts to learn or make use of information from the system but does not affect system resources, so it compromises confidentiality. In-band versus out-of-band. Out-of-band refers to the control messages and in-band refers to the actual communication stream. The processing from dialing to ringing until connected is out-of-band signaling as it involves the control messages to establish a connection. In-band. In telecommunications, in-band signaling is the sending of control information within the same band or channel used for data such as voice or video. This is in contrast to out-of-band signaling, which is sent over a different channel, or even over a separate network. Out-of-band. The phrase out-of-band in IT refers to activity that occurs outside of a specific telecommunications frequency band. This phrase is used in different ways to talk about different kinds of multi-channel messaging or multi-channel signaling. Analytics. Analytics is the systematic computational analysis of data or statistics. It is used for the discovery, interpretation, and communication of meaningful patterns in data. It also entails applying data patterns towards effective decision-making. False positive. For example, if the condition is a disease, true positive means correctly diagnosed as diseased, false positive means incorrectly diagnosed as diseased, true negative means correctly diagnosed as not diseased, and false negative means incorrectly diagnosed as not diseased. False negative. For example, if the condition is a disease, true positive means correctly diagnosed as diseased, false positive means incorrectly diagnosed as diseased, true negative means correctly diagnosed as not diseased, and false negative means incorrectly diagnosed as not diseased. Router. A router is a networking device that forwards data packets between computer networks. A router is connected to two or more data lines from different IP networks. ACLs, Access Control List. In computer security, an access control list, ACL, is a list of permissions associated with a system resource, object. An ACL specifies which users or system processes are granted access to objects, as well as what operations are allowed on given objects. Anti-spoofing. Anti-spoofing is a technique for identifying and dropping packets that have a false source address. Spoofed packets are commonly used to carry out denial of service, DOS, attacks, exploit network and system vulnerabilities and gain unauthorized access to corporate networks and data. Switch. A switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Switches manage the flow of data across a network by transmitting a received network packet only to the one or more devices for which the packet is intended. Port security. It refers to the defense, law and treaty enforcement, and counterterrorism activities that fall within the port and maritime domain. It includes the protection of the seaports themselves and the protection and inspection of the cargo moving through the ports. Layer 2. The data link layer, or Layer 2, is the second layer of the 7-layer OSI model of computer networking. The data link layer provides the functional and procedural means to transfer data between network entities and might provide the means to detect and possibly correct errors that may occur in the physical layer. Layer 3. In the 7-layer OSI model of computer networking, the network layer is Layer 3. The network layer is responsible for packet forwarding, including routing through intermediate routers. Proxy. In computer networking, a proxy server is a server application or appliance that acts as an intermediary for requests from clients seeking resources from servers that provide those resources.